Here exists a certain type of woman, one who possesses a superficial conviction of her own cleverness, who fancies herself several steps ahead of the curve, believing firmly she wields absolute command over her circumstances. Yet, in the stark light of reality, she is frequently little more than an imprudent soul cloaked in a deceptive mantle of confidence. The most regrettable aspect. She remains utterly oblivious to this truth. This is the individual prone to inadvertently dismantling her own existence, never truly grasping the underlying causes of the ruin she creates. Should you fail to discern these telling indicators, you risk becoming entangled in her web of deceit, navigating the disarray she leaves in her wake, or, if vigilance is lacking, even succumbing to adopting her detrimental characteristics. Consequently, pay close attention. Every observation shared herein holds significant weight. By the conclusion of this discourse, you will possess a clear understanding of the behaviors that characterize an ill-advised woman and, crucially, how to recognize, navigate, or protect yourself from emulating such tendencies. Let us commence. A primary indicator of an imprudent woman is her propensity to conflate fleeting attention with genuine intrinsic value. She harbors a conviction that merely being the subject of others' gaze equates to importance or significance. She thrives in the spotlight, drawing energy from external validation and a constant need to be observed, acknowledged, and applauded. When deprived of this external affirmation, she is often compelled to orchestrate conflict or manufacture crises solely to reclaim the notice she craves. This underlying desperation fuels her inclination to incessantly broadcast the minutiae of her life across social platforms, to instigate quarrels in a bid to maintain a semblance of relevance, and to affect an air of profundity or spiritual insight when, at her core, she simply hungers for someone to assure her of her specialness. However, a fundamental truth remains: attention is not synonymous with inherent worth. A woman of genuine substance does not pursue attention, rather, her intrinsic qualities draw it towards her naturally. She possesses no pressing need to be explicitly seen because her presence carries weight and is felt by those around her. The moment you encounter an individual who calibrates her self-worth using metrics like the volume of likes, follower counts, or received compliments, consider it a significant warning sign. Such a person is not primarily seeking authentic connection, meaningful success, or a deeper understanding of life's purpose. She is merely in pursuit of her subsequent surge of validation. Stoic philosophy, with its profound focus on internal virtue and self-mastery as the sole true good, offers a powerful antidote to this misplaced reliance on external approval. As Epictetus wisely observed, no man is free who is not master of himself. A woman tethered to the opinions of others is, in essence, a slave to external circumstance, lacking the inner freedom that comes from valuing character over acclaim. A second defining characteristic is a pronounced lack of self-governance, a deficit in exercising control over her impulses. This woman is frequently driven by immediate urges rather than thoughtful deliberation. She is aware she ought to exercise fiscal prudence, yet she dissipates her resources on superfluous acquisitions. She understands the detrimental nature of engaging with toxic individuals, yet she yields to the impulse to connect with them nonetheless. She recognizes the necessity of discipline for progress, but she consistently prioritizes immediate sensory pleasure over long-term development. Her decisions are predominantly dictated by transient emotional states, not by rational assessment. This emotional governance is precisely why her life often devolves into disarray. She finds herself financially distressed due to an inability to resist impulsive expenditures, emotionally wounded because she has again fallen prey to familiar manipulative patterns, or perpetually ensnared in cycles of failure because she refuses to cultivate the necessary self-command. A woman of discernment recognizes that true liberty is found within the boundaries of discipline, understanding that self-mastery unlocks potential and stability. In stark contrast, the imprudent woman mistakenly equates freedom with unrestrained indulgence, a path that, ironically and inevitably, leads to self-destruction and constraint. Seneca, a prominent Stoic, cautioned extensively against being swayed by fleeting desires, understanding that true power lies in dominion over one's own will, not in yielding to every whim. The third telling sign is that she prioritizes vocal expression over genuine contemplation. Have you encountered individuals who seem incapable of sustained silence? This woman is fond of speaking, yet not because she possesses insights of particular value to contribute. Her primary motivation is simply the act of being heard. She readily dispenses counsel she herself does not adhere to, engages in fervent disputes about subjects she possesses only a rudimentary understanding of, interrupts others habitually, overshares intimate details inappropriately, and consistently dominates conversations. Within her frame of reference, prevailing in an argument is equivalent to being correct or possessing superior knowledge. What she fails to grasp is a fundamental truth recognized by wise individuals throughout history, including the Stoic philosophers. The most insightful people are rarely those who speak the most, they are, more often, those who excel at listening. They engage their minds before articulating their thoughts, selecting their words with the precision and strategy akin to a skilled artisan choosing their tools. Language is employed deliberately and only when it serves a clear, purposeful function. The imprudent woman, conversely, wields language haphazardly, like a child employing crayons. The result is messy, careless, and scattered without meaningful direction. This lack of thoughtful engagement with communication is a primary reason she struggles to absorb new information or perspectives. As Epictetus advised his students, be silent for the most part, or say only what is necessary and in a few words. This Stoic discipline of tongue reflects a broader discipline of mind, which the imprudent woman sorely lacks. A fourth prominent characteristic is her unwavering propensity to assign culpability elsewhere for her difficulties. An imprudent woman rarely, if ever, accepts personal responsibility for her missteps. If she is navigating singleness, men are inherently flawed, or the dating landscape is impossible. If she is experiencing financial hardship, the system is rigged, or opportunity is denied to her. If she encounters failure in an endeavor, someone else deliberately sabotaged her efforts. She is adept at constructing a myriad of justifications for why her current circumstances are demonstrably not her fault. Yet, the uncomfortable truth she steadfastly refuses to acknowledge is that the cumulative outcome of every choice she has made throughout her life has led her to her present reality. A woman of wisdom understands this fundamental connection between choice and consequence. She embraces accountability, viewing mistakes as valuable lessons rather than insurmountable setbacks. She learns from them, adapts her approach, and consequently grows stronger and more capable. The imprudent woman, however, remains entrenched in the role of the aggrieved victim, perpetually disempowered because she denies her own agency. This stance, antithetical to the Stoic emphasis on what is within our power, our judgments, our actions, our character, ensures she remains stagnant, incapable of meaningful progress because she looks everywhere but within for the source of her struggles. Marcus Aurelius, facing immense pressures as emperor, consistently reminded himself of the power of his own internal state. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The imprudent woman fails to exercise this core human power. The fifth revealing trait is her unfortunate inclination towards ill-chosen companions. If you seek to gauge the level of discernment or imprudence in an individual, observe the quality of the people they choose to spend their time with. The imprudent woman gravitates towards associates who reinforce her detrimental habits and provide affirmation for her least constructive behaviors. She prioritizes comfort and the agreeable sensation of being told she is correct, seeking out individuals who will not challenge her perspectives or confront her shortcomings. This is why she maintains affiliations with those who engage in malicious gossip, habitual dishonesty, and the creation of unnecessary drama. On some level, she recognizes a reflection of her own tendencies in them. In contrast, a woman of wisdom actively seeks out relationships with individuals who elevate her character, inspire her to become a better version of herself, and possess the integrity to hold her accountable, even when such honesty is uncomfortable. This is because she understands a profound truth acknowledged by wise philosophers like Seneca: the quality of your associates fundamentally shapes the person you become. Seneca advised his friend Lucilius, associate with those who are likely to improve you. Welcome those whom you are capable of improving. The process is mutual, for men learn while they teach. The imprudent woman fails to grasp this critical principle, and her inability to select edifying influences contributes significantly to her remaining trapped in detrimental patterns and unfulfilled potential. The sixth and perhaps most defining characteristic of an imprudent woman is her consistent failure to assimilate lessons from past missteps. She demonstrates a disturbing tendency to repeat identical errors incessantly. She may repeatedly enter relationships with the same type of toxic partners, fall for the same transparent deceptions, or engage in the same self-destructive behaviors. This cyclical pattern persists because she lacks the capacity, or perhaps the will, to truly learn from experience. A woman of wisdom, while certainly not immune to error, approaches mistakes differently. She might stumble once, perhaps even twice, in a particular way, but then she pauses, reflects, extracts the necessary lessons, adapts her approach, and evolves past her former limitations. She transcends her old self by integrating the wisdom gained from her failures. The imprudent woman, however, remains perpetually ensnared in a repetitive loop, circling back to the same points of friction and pain. This inability to learn from the past condemns her to a state of perpetual dissatisfaction and misery. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that every obstacle, every setback, can serve as an opportunity for practice and learning, a chance to apply rational principles to lived experience. The imprudent woman ignores this fundamental opportunity for growth that life consistently presents. In summation, the distinction between a woman guided by wisdom and one characterized by folly lies not in innate intelligence quotient, the volume of her discourse, or the degree of external attention she garners. It resides, fundamentally, in her conscious approach to living and her engagement with herself and the world. A woman of wisdom, embodying principles deeply aligned with Stoic teachings, actively cultivates self-governance, embraces full accountability for her actions and circumstances, diligently extracts transformative lessons from her experiences, judiciously surrounds herself with individuals who foster her growth, and directs her energy towards cultivating intrinsic value, the strength of her character and the practice of virtue. The imprudent woman, conversely, exhibits the opposite tendencies. She remains enslaved by her impulses, deflects responsibility onto external factors, repeats her errors mindlessly, seeks validation and comfort from corrosive influences, and chases the ephemeral glitter of external attention over substantive, lasting worth. Ultimately, the path towards cultivating wisdom and achieving genuine self-mastery, a path well trodden by the Stoic philosophers of antiquity, is not a predetermined destiny but a conscious, deliberate choice made moment by moment. If these insights have resonated, if they have prompted even a moment of introspection regarding your own tendencies or the people you engage with, consider this a call to embark more consciously on that path towards becoming stronger, more discerning, and more unshakable in your own being.